This is exactly how you're going to stay productive every single month of the year and not just in January. Because I used to be that girl who would start every single year with a massive to-do list and main character energy. But by March, I was back to binge watching shows and telling myself, I'll just start fresh on Monday. And this is kind of all of us. Everyone says they want to be consistent, organized, and productive. So, we go all in and overwhelm ourselves by trying to reinvent our whole life overnight. Waking up at 5 a.m., buying all these planners, journals, and relying on motivation to get through the year. But here's what nobody tells you about productivity: being productive doesn't mean being extreme. It's about building consistent habits that you actually follow through on even when life gets chaotic. So, let me show you the exact system I built that has kept me productive through every single season and that you can use to hack your goals. But to start being more productive, we first need to address the biggest enemy to productivity: burnout. Why do we get burnt out? The first reason is that we lack clarity on long-term goals. Essentially, you don't know what your priorities are and you don't know what you're working towards. If this is you, you probably live day by day just doing the bare minimum, not knowing what you're doing tomorrow or this week. You get pulled left and right by whatever life throws at you, handling things as they come, but this is why you get so burnt out. You have no solid plan or direction. Reason number 2 is you're distracted. You have goals, but you're not really focused on them. You get easily distracted by small, unimportant tasks or by unnecessary social events. You find it hard to stay focused, and you're likely addicted to social media, checking your phone every 5 minutes between work. And reason number 3, you have no daily structure. Basically, you have no routine or a very loose one. You wake up whenever, go to sleep whenever, and do work whenever. You often experience regular slumps, especially the mid-year slump. And sometimes you forget to do important things. Deadlines creep up on you, but you can't stop procrastinating. If you resonate with one of these, don't worry. It's way more common than you think. So now, this is the secret formula to how you're going to fix it. Be productive all year long, and prevent burnout before it gets you. The first thing you need to do is get clear on what you want. If you don't have any direction for your life, no ambition, no desires, then obviously you will have nothing to work toward. If you don't create your own goals for your life, then someone else will create them for you. And this has happened to me plenty of times. But even if you do have some kind of goals, here's where you're probably getting it wrong. You see, most people create yearly goals at the start of January. And this is what everyone tells you to do. But here's the thing: it is almost impossible to accomplish everything you want in just a year. Like, you're not going to finish your PhD, get married, buy a house, and win the Nobel Peace Prize in 365 days. Everything always takes longer than you expect. So, you need to be thinking about where you want to be in 10-year increments, not just 1 year, and then once you know what your end goal is, you can work backwards and figure out what you need to do today to get there. Now, when you're coming up with your 10-year goals, do not make this mistake. A lot of people get stuck and undershoot their goals because they put themselves in a box. They already have this limiting belief that says their goals are unrealistic, stupid, or that they don't deserve them. So, don't be like this. You have to free yourself of any limitations when it comes to your goals, because dreams don't have boundaries. And yours shouldn't either. Even if you think something's impossible, I guarantee you someone else has already done it. Your 10-year goal should be the ideal, that if you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? And when you allow yourself to dream big and create big goals, you actually become a lot happier and more inspired to work towards them. Now, after you've created these 10-year goals, you then need to figure out how the heck you're going to get there. So, this is when we work backwards to determine all the steps in between. I'll give you an example. Let's say my goal in 10 years is to make 7 figures as a full-time YouTuber. To do that, I would probably need to have at least a couple million subscribers and multiple revenue streams, like sponsorships and a business on the side. So, with that in mind, my 5-year goal should be to hit 1 million subscribers and earn 6 figures, which then means my 3-year goals would have to be hitting 500k subscribers and selling some product or service to earn that 6-figure income. So, in the end, my goal for this year should be to hit 100k subscribers and start developing that business model. Do you see how logical and simple it is when you actually break it down? Of course, it's going to take work, but at least it's mapped out. This is how you make intimidating 10-year goals not so scary anymore. In fact, now it's actually realistic because I've taken the time to reverse engineer and come up with a game plan. So, you need to do the same no matter how big or small your goals are. I promise this works every time. The next secret to how I stay productive all year long is by writing stuff down. It is not rocket science, and I think most people know it. Yet, we really have become so lazy to doing it. And it's the number one Reason you cannot stay productive. The Harvard Business School actually did a study on this theory with their MBA graduates, and they found that the tiny group of students who actually wrote down their goals earned significantly more than 97% of their peers who did not write them down. And this has nothing to do with them being smarter or more talented, but because they wrote down their goals, they had a clear direction, more accountability, and more consistent motivation. So what does this mean for us? Well, when you write down a goal, you're forced to define it clearly. Vague ideas we have in our head like get in shape or be more productive now become specific actions like work out 3 times a week or finish my assignment by Friday. This kind of clarity gives your brain a clear target to aim for. It transforms a fleeting thought into a concrete intention, and you're more likely to follow through on something when it's right in front of you, like on your desk, in your planner, or on your computer. But as someone who needs visual organization, I used to struggle so much with finding the right system for all my ideas. We all know about apps like Notion, and she's good, don't get me wrong. But I recently came across this other app called Xtiles. That has actually taken her place. And I am so excited to share this with you because it has been a game changer for my productivity. Xtiles is a digital workspace that helps you visually organize practically every aspect of your life. From to-do lists to goal setting to daily habits to projects, it organizes everything in one place. It's a full productivity dashboard that actually inspires me to get things done. And the best part is it is way more aesthetic and flexible than a traditional planner or notes app. And I really love the personal planner feature that allows me to organize my life in days, weeks, months, quarters, and years, and you can even embed things like images, videos, Google Slides, and more directly into your projects. So, this is really great if you are in the brainstorming phase of an idea, or you just want to decorate your projects with inspiring media. I've been using this for planning out my schedule and organizing my content ideas. But no matter how messy or chaotic my thoughts are, Xtiles keeps everything clear, visual, and easy to stick to. And if you love ChatGPT as much as I do, they have their own AI assistant that can create, brainstorm, and summarize any project for you. So, if I wanted to plan out my next video idea, I can just ask my AI assistant and it will help me come up with a strategy. Like, how cool is that? So, if you're someone who struggles to stay consistent throughout the year, I highly recommend using Xtiles to elevate your productivity. The link will be down below so you can try it for yourself. Thank you so much to Xtiles for sponsoring this video. Okay, now this is the most important tip for staying productive all year long, and it's going to surprise you because it is so simple, but so many people forget to do it. You need to revisit your goals on a regular basis. When you regularly check in on your goals, it is a visual reminder of what you're working towards. Because so often we forget the why of why we do things. And when we lose sight of the finish line, we get burnt out. Because it just seems like the work has no end. But revisiting your goals consistently kind of gives you that healthy pressure to continue making progress. Think of it as like a gentle kick in the butt to get your together. So then you're probably wondering, how often should I revisit my goals? While only doing it once a year is definitely not enough. We already went over that. You should be checking in at least every quarter. So basically every 3 months. And I like this pace because sometimes our goals will change depending on what's going on in our life. Like sometimes I completely change my goals halfway through the year because I just have different priorities. So quarterly check-ins are an easy way to take inventory of your goals and make sure they're still working for you. Now, to make sure you actually stay consistent with this, you have to schedule time to revisit and work on your goals. If you don't intentionally set aside the time, you will forget about it and it won't happen. So block out your quarter,